Hello, bonjour, hola. Alright, how are we all doing? It's your boy Jordan. This is a very highly requested video. Why BTS is treated unfair in Korea or hated, whatever you want to say, whatever terms you put them in. But yeah, I don't really, I enjoy learning about them, but I don't particularly like always learning about a hate. But obviously, since it's such a high requested video, I obviously want to do it and see what it's all about. Obviously, I've already seen where basically they're hated on quite a lot for for whatever reasons people made up or think to be true. I mean, personally, I don't really have an opinion because I haven't really done any research. I've only ever looked at people's opinions. So I'm not gonna be like, yeah, I believe everything people are telling me, because I don't. I can't tell. I don't know if something's true or not unless I look into it myself. All right, but obviously I like to learn about it because there's that many people talking about it. More than likely, it probably is true. And I'm curious. Like I said, I like to learn about groups and stuff like that. And obviously, right now I'm doing BTS, and wow, it's been amazing. Also, I'd like to take a second to say thank you very much to everyone that subbed. Like, honestly, I think I'm nearly at 1,500 subs or something. I think last week I was on 1,300, and now I'm on 1,450 or something like that. And I just literally want to say thank you. Like, you don't understand how crazy it is for me to see this. I never expect, honestly, people to subscribe or even watch the video. It's kind of just, this is a good way for me to learn about something and be productive. Basically, it's better than me just sit there watching it and writing my opinion. At least I get to do something with it and express my opinion in a different way than just writing it down in a comment. So obviously that's my personal reason why I do essentially this. But anyway, I just want to say thank you very much. I do appreciate everyone getting involved. If you want me to watch different videos, especially on BTS or any other group, to be honest, but right now I am doing BTS. If you have any suggestions, please write them down in the comment section, because believe it or not, I do read them. You know what I mean? I read them, and I sometimes I reply and stuff, but I always click the love white button, so you know that I've read it and I'm not just being ignorant and stuff like that. But yeah, I do appreciate everyone getting involved. But anyway, let's get into the video and see what's going on. Also, I'd like to add, this was like the most recent video, and that's the reason why I clicked it, because this is the most recent one that's updated, been out. It's been up for 4 months or something like that, so I thought it'd probably be the best one to do. If it's the wrong one, link it me and I'll do that one. Thank you.
At the end of the year in December 2018, Koreans were surprised to see the K-pop awards ceremony. Why is EXO on the ending stage? Where's BTS? Major South Korean broadcasters, KBS, SBS, and MBC all set up.
Quick thing, no one likes SBS. The amount of time they've copy strike me, and I think they may be the ones that actually got my BTS. I don't know who took it down, but it was the MMA Awards 2019. What I said that I'd do, I did it, and it got blocked worldwide instantly. Like, I think it had 1 view, and then it got took down, which is ridiculous, right? But it actually was a company. I think it was one of them companies that did it. Absolute idiots. All right, so I already don't like these companies. That's facts.
EXO on the ending stage. Well, here's one thing. Performing at the last stage of the year-end awards ceremony in Korea is the most glorious thing for singers. This is because only the most beloved and widely influential singer throughout the year can take the ending stage. Including ARMYs and even the people who are not fans of BTS thought of course BTS would be on the final stage. But why and how did EXO come out all of a sudden? Of course, everyone knows EXO is a group that made a great contribution to K-pop. But you would also know that BTS set a historic record last year. Korean internet community sites were about to blow up at that time. Fans insisted EXO was not on the stage often this year, even focused on unit albums targeting Japan market. People thought there should be a pressure from the agency SM Entertainment for taking the ending stage. Why couldn't BTS take the last stage of K-pop awards show even after rewriting K-pop? No, the worldwide pop's history. Were they being discriminated against other major idol groups in Korea? Let's find out what stupid things happened in the past days of K-pop, and how did BTS overcome all
I've
of
seen
them?
some of these clips.
Many K-pop fans said that's because BTS's agency, Big Hit, was a weak, small company.
I already
In
know
contrast,
this.
EXO is a singer from SM Entertainment, the giant in the K-pop industry. People argued EXO.
So it's basically all the big groups raining down and saying we're not having no small group take over this show. whether they're the biggest group in the world, they're not in K-pop. I know some people say they're above K-pop, but end of the day, they are put in the K-pop genre, whether you like it or not. That is fact. You know, if I type in K-pop, the first name that pops up is BTS. You know what I mean? So obviously, you know, they are part of the genre. Whether they now outgrown it, that's debatable for anyone to answer. That's not up to me, not up to anyone really. It's kind of just in your own opinion. I don't know if they have or not because I don't know anything about K-pop. But what I say is, I knew about EXO before BTS, but I mean, obviously, if they've just created this historical event and they've just done all these things, and now they're the massive, it makes sense for them to be on the stage, whether they're in a tiny group or not. Like, numbers speak for themselves. That's fact, right? The one thing you can't lie about is stat. Well, you can lie about stats, but you know, stats in general. You know what I mean? Guaranteed fact stats. You can't deny. You can't argue about. It's not opinion. It's a fact. And obviously, BTS smashed a lot of records from what I've been told, and like I think it was like they released a song within the first 24 hours. They got a stupid amount of like just crazy amount of views, right? So I mean, they're clearly the biggest group without a doubt, which makes me wonder why they didn't get put on, because it's a bit idiotic in a sense. Because obviously EXO are sick, they're amazing, they actually are a very talented group, no doubt about it. I don't, you know what I mean, I'm not one of them that if I like one group it means I've got to hate the rest of them. I enjoy all the type of groups that I've listened to so far. There's a couple that I was like, they're alright, you know what I mean, but nonetheless, like, to be honest, BTS, it seems to be like they deserve to be on the stage, and once again they're just completely getting shut down from the simple fact is that the other groups don't like this fact that this small company have essentially produced such a massive group that now are just no longer Korean stars. They're no longer just on that side of the hemisphere. They're global. You know what I'm saying? They're global, baby.
Beated BTS with SM's power on their back. As you know, there are three major entertainment agencies in Korea: SM, JYP, and YG. They were like the kings of the Korean entertainment industry.
YG suck as a
Each
company for
society
YouTube,
has
but
its
they
own
create good music.
peculiarities that are pretty different from foreign countries. As people tend to value education or background over a person's ability, the environment in which they belong is so crucial to their success. Sadly, if someone makes his debut as an idol in Korea, he is divided into invisible classes depending on which agency he belongs to. Broadcast PDs apparently give more attention and opportunities to the new singers from those three major entertainment agencies.
Well, more than likely, it's because more than likely they've probably got contracts with them. I mean, obviously, you know, that's how the world works. I don't know if that's hate towards BTS or just the simple fact of, you know, if they create the biggest stars at that time, that obviously they're gonna have deals with companies because it essentially helps them grow and also the group grow. I mean, it helps them grow in a career, but globally it doesn't really matter. Do you know what I mean? So I say, oh well, actually, I'm such an idiot. It says in career, my bad, chief. You know, I got it all twisted. I was thinking globally for some reason. Don't ask me why. But yeah, I mean, it's still a lot of hate towards BTS, even though they don't deserve to be hated on. I mean, it's like you wouldn't hate someone who's poor and becomes a millionaire by working hard. Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't hate on them. You'd be like, well done. This is no different from someone who's worked their ass off to build a business to become rich than them working their asses off, perfecting an art and becoming famous and rich. It's no difference. The only difference is that the fact that that person's rich and not famous. But essentially, you know, it's what they've done. It's what a lot of people in this world do, and they don't get hit for it. So why on earth do people deserve to get penalized for something as working hard? Like, bro, like, do you know what I mean? It's kind of stupid. It's just like, oh god, it just gets me annoyed.
Let's take a look at Blackpink's case. YG's Blackpink received special treatment from their debut as superstars. When Blackpink received numerous love calls from the broadcasts as soon as they debuted, the public criticized that it was because of YG's power and that Blackpink has a gold spoon. I'm not saying they did something wrong. Of course they had a hard time and they had to go through constant survival until just before their debut. It's also their effort to survive at YG in competition with tens of thousands of trainees. However, it's true that after their debut, the power of their agency made them more comfortable and stable compared to other idols. BTS had to do whatever it came to because the company was short of money. They had to work as backup dancers for models even after winning the first place in the music show. Models were walking down the runway and BTS danced to the song I Need You behind the stage. The idol group members who had the first place in music show worked as a backup dancers in TV program. It was when Big Hit Entertainment was only relying on BTS's income, so the members had to work hard whatever was given. If they were the singers from the three major companies, this could not happen for sure. Among the three major agencies, SM's power is more than you can imagine. SM celebrities are occupying the broadcasting industry. Broadcasters put SM singers on the stage because they are afraid? How can a single entertainment company be that influential? You may not be able to understand, but the fact that SM dominates the Korean broadcast industry can be easily seen in the Dongbangsingi's case. This is a clear example of how if you incur SM's hatred, you'll be buried in the entertainment industry. Dongbangsingi was a 5-member idol group that became Asia's #1 boy band in a short period of time, as planned by SM CEO Lee Soo-man. SM asked them to work more and more, but paid little. The angry 3 members sued SM for unfair contracts and left the company. What happened after that? The 3 members were just disappeared from TV and broadcasts because of SM's pressure towards the PDs. SM pressed the broadcasts to make sure that the 3 people who betrayed the company could not work normally in the entertainment industry. They also threatened the broadcasts who let JYJ appear on the TV program by saying SM artists will boycott that company. That's why we can't see 3 members of Dongbangsingi on TV. At this time, Koreans experienced the power of SM for the first time. People were surprised that the 3 superstars could not be on the air for years.
I mean, I get it in a sense of like business. In business sense, it makes sense, but obviously the guy's just a total donut. You know, it's the more polite word of calling him a different word. But no, yeah, honestly, I mean, to be honest, that it's bad and it shouldn't happen, stuff like this. But obviously, that's the advantage in a life. Like, if you're essentially in a rich household, you're gonna have bigger opportunities and easier opportunities from the simple fact you're born. They've got the extra opportunities in life, right? So obviously, if you're from like a poor house, you know, this is just a different analogy, but if you're from a poor house, then you've got to work twice as hard as everyone else does because you're not necessarily going to have the money to go and do the things that the rich people can do. Do you know what I mean? The rich people tend to know other rich people that know these big companies and they give you opportunities life which are a lot easier than, you know, the people who don't know anyone. You've got to find a way to make a connection with these big groups and essentially catapult yourself into a position where you can finally do something. Now, do I think it's fair? Absolutely not. Do I think the guy's a dickhead? Sorry, I mean donut. Yeah, I think the guy who owns that company is a complete donut. Yeah, fact, he is. I mean, to be honest, you should, if you see talent, you see talent. Do you know what I mean? If you see a kid on the street that can sing better than Justin Bieber or whoever, you're going to be like, I want to sign that kid. Do you know what I mean? Because it makes sense. So, obviously, to be honest, I think they're kind of salty at the fact that BTS had done extremely well. So they tried their best to get rid of them because they didn't want anyone messing with the big 3 competition, as they say. But, end of the day, look, I mean, as bad as it is, and I don't think it's right, and I don't think it ever will be right because, you know, essentially, if they still control all these medias, it's extremely hard to essentially put them in a position where they have no choices, is the power of the internet. So, I mean, I'm not telling people to start a hashtag or anything like that, or go psycho, or do any death threat, or nothing like that. But I'm saying, the good thing about the internet now is power of people. Right? How many people are on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram? Okay, someone could start like an hashtag, and before you know it, they're there because they've got no choice. It's the power of the people, or another company a company will make something, get a contract, and before you know it, blows up, and BTS are on the face of it. So, I mean, it's pretty much what Big Hit did. But in the sense of that guy's being an absolute idiot, the guy is an idiot. I mean, getting rid of 3 people because they're not happy in a contract and saying, we're not going to allow you to ever go on TV, and if you do, we'll make sure that company gets run into the ground. I'm pretty sure that's abuse of power anyway, but I mean, I don't know how to go around it because I'm not a lawyer. I'm not exactly smart. But, you know, that guy's just a dick. Like, straight up, I don't really like swearing in my videos, but that guy is a dick, right? Like, Honestly, the guy who does that, I forgot his name because he's not worth knowing, right? Is a dick. Facts. It's not a question. It's not anything about it. The guy's just a straight donut. He doesn't know, like, he's just rude, inappropriate, and at the end of the day, eventually, he'll fucking crumble and fall and be a piece of shit in the dust, just like the rest of the people that treat people unfairly. Eventually, karma's a bitch. It'll slap you in the face before you know it. Facts.
SM's words can change the whole stance of the broadcast. In front of this huge SM power, BTS had to be smaller. Big Hit Entertainment was a small company and wasn't even projecting an idol group from the first. BTS had to go through everything by themselves. Big Hit had no strong fellow singers or seniors BTS could lean on. SM's Red Velvet made a splendid debut, promoted by senior singers such as Super Junior and FX. YG's Jennie was able to make her name known by featuring a song by Big Bang G-Dragon even before her debut. The trainee audition programs like Win, Mix and Match, and 16 from YG and JYP were very popular too. In the tough entertainment world, the only thing BTS can trust was producer Bang Si-hyuk and each other. They were powerless and had to bear the public criticism that they were a group that would disappear in a few years. At that time, BTS was attacked by malicious comments that were close to personal attacks. They also had to put up with insults from their fellow singers. iKON's Bobby appeared on.
I've said that insult. That guy's a dick, by the way, who said that just because they put a tiny bit. I don't understand if they put makeup on, like, and they completely changed their whole look. But essentially, you know, like, I've got this spot there, right? My girlfriend isn't home, and she was looking after the baby last night, right? And this pisses me off, right? I hate going on a camera and seeing that on my face, right? So if I could cover it up a tiny bit with makeup and make it look like I don't have them flaws, I don't see why not, you know? I wouldn't personally always cover my face in makeup and walk around, but that's just my personal preference. But you know what I mean? If they're comfortable doing it, who gives a fuck? It's not going to stop you. It's not going to ruin your life. If you're offended by it, shut the fuck up and move on. Who cares, right? Like, end of the day, like, stop it, like, bro, like, some people just piss me off. I know I don't swear, but I'm in one of them moods today where I don't care if this video gets demonetized. I don't make a 3p off the video. I don't care. I don't make any money off YouTube anyway. I'm here to, you know, speak my honest opinion. And that guy in that interview who basically said because he wears eyeliner, alright, basically called him a girl, is a fucking idiot. I'm proud of myself for that one. I even had to clap.
Program Show Me the Money 3 and dissed RM as a bad idol rapper. He wrote satirical lyrics by using the name of Bangtan and Rap Monster, saying RM should improve his rap skill more. After the success of BTS, at a press conference of YG, the reporter asked Bobby why he had blamed RM at that time. He gave the microphone to CEO Yang Eun-seok without giving any answer. Yang Eun-seok replied instead of Bobby, "It's common for rappers to diss each other. And
True.
Bobby would have done it with the intention of doing well with the same idol rappers." But Bobby never mentioned about the big agency idol rappers from SM and JYP. Fans said Bobby attacked only the rappers from small and medium-sized companies, such as RM, Ravi, and Boyfriend.
To be honest, even though you shouldn't do it, it makes sense because if that small group's growing and you say something and people see the views and stuff like that, or you know, essentially, I mean, marketing-wise, it's pretty clever, and business-wise, it's very clever. But saying it just because of the fact that they're a small group just means you're an idiot. But I can see it in a business sense of trying to grab the people that are fans of them, look at him and goes, oh, what's he said about him? It creates this beef and this feud, and then obviously it rivals up and it becomes a bigger thing, and then people start watching their videos, and essentially it just creates more, the word clout that I don't like to use, but it does. It creates a bigger view base for everyone. So I mean, whether it's fair, definitely not. Is the guy a donut? 100%. But I do understand it from a business sense. You know, it does kind of make sense. I don't know how big the group were back then, but obviously they did have enough people or enough fans or armies, you want to call it, to essentially it get talked about. So, you know, clearly it did have an impact, which is a good thing, because if someone from a group who's bigger says something about the small people, even though they get criticised, it's free publicity. So as bad as it is and idiotic as it is, it's actually very good for them. Because, I mean, look where they are now, right? So, I mean, without them going through that, how do you not know they were going to be where they are now? That's all I can say, really. Everything they've been through and had to do has put them in the position where they are now. So I mean, as bad as everything this is, I mean, look how good and far they've come from where they last was. All right.
Friend. Armies blamed Bobby's attitude for not apologizing yet. This was not the only neglect of fellow singers. Rapper Be Free is also famous for criticizing Suga and RM. He appeared in a radio live in 2013 with RM, Suga, and several other rappers. He said RM and Suga could have succeeded as rappers, but they made their debut as idols, unable to resist the temptation to make money. I'm sorry. What does idol mean? Why are you guys on the stage with makeups like women? The fans went furious and demanded him
I've already
an
spoke my
apology,
piece on this.
but he excused it's his way and the spirit of hip-hop, and posted pictures of BTS fans who blamed.
Question, how the fuck does he know about hip hop? Let's get this straight, okay? I don't care who he is, right? Hip hop is a global thing. It's about the things you say, not what the fucking things you wear. That's fact. The people who wear these chains and think they're gangster, they're just dicks, alright? Like, you look at people like, who is it? Drake, like, not Drake, I won't say Drake. Drake's just one of them that can do everything. Who is it? Oh, the certain artist, I forgot what he's called now. Kid Cudi, I think it's called, something like that. He doesn't wear any diamonds. He doesn't wear really any like super flashy stuff. Yet he's part of hip hop. There's so many people who's part of hip hop who don't care for. But it's not about what you wear. It's about the words you say and in the way you say them. So it makes no sense. So hip hop's not about what you wear. It's what you say and what you talk it. Well, essentially what you're rapping about. So that guy's just a dick anyway, and just thinks that he's one of these little gangsters. Like, oh, look at me, yeah, I can say a few words, and I wear this, and I sag my pants, and yeah, I can. No, you're just a dick.
Him. Big Hit's Bang Si-hyuk didn't put up with it and posted on Twitter, "I know speaking whatever in your heart is hip-hop's basic attitude, but isn't it necessary to keep time and place regardless of genre? Wouldn't it be better not to appear on the radio if he couldn't stand what he had to say?" After that day, Bang Si-hyuk bought delicious food for RM and Suga and spoke warm words and advices. They were only in the age of 20 and 21.
I'm 21.
How
Woo!
much hardships and mockeries they had to endure. Back then, no one thought BTS would become a world-class singer, but they made a miracle. Without support from the big agency, the result was created by competing only through unity and music. BTS's achievements are something that even the top 3 agency idols have failed to achieve. It's ironic that they're treated better in other countries than in their own country, but they don't have to care about the reactions of some malicious Korean fans and agencies anymore. They took their best revenge on those who ignored them by looking at their origins and backgrounds. Thanks to BTS, a new history of K-pop has started. Hopefully, the K-pop celebrities and artists will be recognized for their abilities, not their backgrounds. As BTS did, I hope a lot of unknown singers from small agencies create more miracles.
You see what? Do you know what that was actually? At first, I was like, I don't know if I'm actually gonna upload this, but I am now. I mean, what it seems like to me, the simple thing is that I wouldn't say Koreans people, but I'd say that the companies, these big media companies that, you know, do the TV shows, do everything else, people are invested into them companies. So when someone else comes along who's not part of them 3 big companies, they don't want to know who it is. Doesn't matter how talented they are. They don't care about nothing. All right, that's what it seems like to me. And basically, they couldn't get no airtime. They couldn't do anything. But luckily for them, they had the power of the internet, which is a fantastic thing, because, you know, I could literally create a song. I can't sing or rap or anything, but I could create a song and we could essentially, you know, I could be viral by tomorrow. Like, anything's possible, right? So, I mean, the fact that even though they went through all this shit and all these problems, and essentially, even though they were hated in their own country and stuff like that, they still managed to, you know, because that's a hard thing. Like, I live in England, right? And if people hated me in my own country for wanting to do something I'm good at, and consistently said that you're basically an idiot, you don't fit the job, you don't essentially suit it, and then somehow I become this world like superstar, which ain't gonna happen. But I'd probably want to stick it so much in the face all the time, and the fact that they're still so chilled about it as well, which is the best thing, is that they're so calm about everything. Like they're funny in a group together, but like they're genuinely just like proper humble people, and it just goes to show that no matter what they've been through, they're in this position now, and if they really want to, they can go fuck you and do whatever they want. You know what I mean? They can get booked across the world if they really wanted to. They could never have to perform in Korea ever again, and they'd still be perfectly fine, financially stable, and still have an absolute extreme fan base. So I mean, to them, well done. To all the people that stuck by them when essentially got hated on, well done to you. And now look where they are. You can be part of that journey, and even though I've not been part of that journey, I get to see where they've come from and where they're at now. So thank you very much to the people who actually suggested this video. You are an absolute legend, and if I go down and find your name in the comment section, I'll give you a shout out in one of my videos. But yeah, make sure you click that subscription button. I appreciate it. Take care of yourself. See you very soon. Peace.